Hello traders everywhere, Adam Hewison here, president and founder of iknow.com and co-founder of MarketClub with your midday update for Monday the 3rd of December. Yes, it's hard to believe we're into December now, just a few more weeks left of trading and then we're into 2013. What's that going to bring? Well, who knows? But let's start looking at the strong trends in the markets right now as we see them. Silver's in a strong trend. Copper and the euro, they're all in strong trends, meaning they're in the plus 100 or plus 90 categories. Mixed trends, the equities market, mixed, crude oil, and gold. We'll be looking at all those markets in just a moment. But the question is December going to bring a Santa rally or a fiscal fall? Let's take a look at the stocks right now. And we're going to avoid the first three markets because we have some technical difficulties on those, but we're going to be looking at the crude oil, which is actually trading very well today, 89.90. And that market is up almost 1%, 0.89% right now. And it looks like it's just making that turn. Now let's just get a little closer in so we get a better view of this. And let's go to 3 months. And you can see we've talked about this base that it's building. And certainly, one, we're higher for the week. And also, we're seeing this sort of just this nice base that we like to see in these markets. Now, if we get a solid close over 90, that's the big number we're looking at psychologically. If we close over there, then I think we'll see this market move still higher, possibly up to the 94 area. A lot of hedge fund buying the last week or so, which has helped push this market up, certainly. But it also, if anything happens in the Middle East, not that it can't happen, but if something else should come along, this market could really take off on the upside. But generally speaking, the 94 level is what we're looking at right now. So let me clear the screen off and let's just look at this a little bit longer term and look at a couple of lines that we're seeing right now. So we're going to go to a very simple line chart, which is very useful to have. And let's scope this out just a little bit further. And just a little bit further as well. So let's just take all the triangles off and even the parabolic, which is useful, but we'll just take those just very, very simple. So here's what we're looking at so far, and that is if we take a trend line, just click on the trend line tool right here, and you'll see it shows a little yellow box in the top left-hand corner. Let's just draw this trend line in here. This is the big one, and then let's draw a trend line in from these levels right here. So you can see the 94 level we've got up there that's going to meet that trend line, which is, I think, going to be a real problem for it to jump over. If it jumps over there, then obviously we've broken up to the upside. But generally speaking, we're at a support area. The market's just found support and it's just bouncing up. And I think if we take our if we take our Fibonacci, which we're going to look at right now, and we go from the highs right here, down to these levels here. This also takes it up to the 94 level. So again, that's a 61.8% retracement. That is where we would expect the market to find some natural resistance. Plus, we've got this trend line with the 1, 2, 3, 4 points, which is a very valid trend line. So that's where this market, I think, will see this crude oil market run into resistance right around those levels. So let's see how things play out with that, and let's go to our next market. And that's going to be the euro. Now the euro has confounded everybody, but not the trade triangles. Let's just get a little bit closer and we'll just do the last 6 months. And we'll put our trade triangles in here. And you can see basically we have been a positive 100%. We have been, last buy signal was right here at 130.06. We're at 130.60 right now. So again, this market has really proven itself to be surprising to a lot of traders. A lot of people were very negative on Europe, and maybe rightfully so, but the reality is the dollar is going down faster than the euro is going up, in the sense it's obviously they're related, but things are just as bad in this country according to the forex markets. And do we want a lower dollar? Well, that seems to be the policy of this administration, is lower dollars will sell more. It's not, I think, a good policy, but that's just the way they do things in Washington. But generally speaking, Europe has still major problems with Greece. Last week it was announced that Germany was going to a recession, and yet here we have the euro going to its best levels. Well, we have to go all the way back here and that's in October 23rd. So its best levels is getting close up to these 131 level. This talk, it could go even higher, and if we scope this out even further, you can see potentially the 132 level. A major resistance comes in from 134, 135, but nonetheless, this market is in a bull trend according to our trade triangles. That's the important thing to remember. So let's go to our next market. And we're looking at the gold market. Now, the gold market, I'll scope this in a little closer so you get an idea. The gold market has longer term, the monthly and the weekly, in a positive mode. Only the daily, which is the timing mechanism we use for our, not only our global strategy portfolio, but our World Cup portfolio, excuse me. The World Cup portfolio uses the weekly and the daily for timing. It's done extremely well in gold, but you can see this market appears to be trying to make that turn. Hasn't quite made it yet, but it would also, let's just scope this in closer, it would look just on a visual here is that we have good support right around this level here, right around the 1710 level is good support. Now, we may just pop around maybe a little more, but I think eventually we'll see this market turn up. And I think when it does, we'll have a chance to test this 1750, longer term, intermediate term 1730. But potentially, I think we could see this market get very strong later on. So let's respect the trade triangles. The longer term monthly is positive, as is the weekly. All we're looking for is this daily to kick in, and then we want to get aggressively on the long side. So let's watch that very, very carefully this week and go to our next market. And we are looking at 4 stocks today as well, so let's stay tuned for those. But this is the silver market. Now, the silver market in many ways has led the way. And as you can see, even today with gold just up a little bit, silver is actually doing very well. It's much higher. It's up just 0.07%, not much, but it's really beginning to make that turn up. It's always been the leader here, much more so than gold. But again, let's see what happens here. And we are committed to the long side of this market, obviously with a plus 100. We said at the top of the show that a plus 100 is a strong trend, and that still remains so as we speak right now. So moving on to our next market, which is copper. Copper is again in a very strong trending type market. You can see even though we're down a little bit today, we're higher than we opened, and we're down just 0.24, not a big move, but certainly over the 355 level, which was resistance, it's done extremely well. And we may see this market consolidate between the 360 and 365 level. But generally speaking, the trend is your friend, and the trend is plus 100, meaning the trend remains in a positive mode. We are overbought, no question about it, but markets can stay overbought and oversold for a long time. So always remember that. That's the key thing. So moving on to our next market. This is the Las Vegas Sens. You want to bet on this market. And there's the monthly that just kicked in today, which actually propelled this market to go into a plus 100 mode. And you can see if we just click on there, oops, let's take that off. And let's just go here. You can see right now it's 47.59 was a buy. It's 47.57, right pretty much where the signal came in. So it indicates this market should be going higher. And if we scope this out even further, let's say year to date, you'll see that actually this is really a pretty big base that you're building in this market, and that is really kind of right here. And the fact that the big thing is to me is if we close over this level of 48, that would be a super close, and that would indicate that we have the potential of going up to probably about the 60 level, which is right here, and it gets you back into this resistance area right here. So again, this is something I think potentially could be, but I would be much more comfortable in this market with a close over 48. Currently trading at 47.57. The signal came in at 47.59. So right around there, it looks good. And I think you want to use the monthly for trend, which we do, and the weekly right here for timing, which is important. So nonetheless, looks like the trend is your friend, and we're going higher, so bet on the Las Vegas Sands. Let's clear the screen and go to our next market, and that's going to be the other stock that we like in terms of it came up on our trade triangle search this morning, and that is CMS, which is CMS Energy. Now, the energy market's obviously high today, but you can see we've had a pretty vertical move here, which is quite unusual to see a market go up that quickly and reverse. So nonetheless, that's a signal to be long. And I'll show you how we got this signal. So we go to the recent trade triangles. So you just click on this link there, and it takes you to these, and you can see the signals we had today. And here they are, Las Vegas Sands and CMS Energy. Both of those markets look very positive with the green. And you can see we'll look at AOL and Janus Capital Group right now. But nonetheless, these are signals that came up today. If we scan again, we may have some more on the horizon. Let's take a look. No, that's it for so far today. Now, we're looking at equities that are trading over 2 million shares a day or more. We're also looking at the monthly trade triangles, which is for stocks, which is the big trend, and we're searching just for today. Now, if we go back, let's say 3 days, for example, you get a lot more in the group. So it's always a question of doing the right search for the time. Now, I always look for the day, and of course later in the day you can also look for these, but these happen dynamically throughout the day, so you may want to keep checking your MarketClub charts to see where they're coming in, or the portfolio, I should say. So let's go back to the portfolio manager, go to our next market. That's going to be, these are sells. AOL is a sell or a short. And you can see there it is, boom, right down here on the 3rd of December, 32.57, currently trading at 32.60, so right around the same level. And it would look as though you want to be short this market, certainly out of this market at the time, at the very, very least to be out of the market if you have AOL stock. So moving on to our next market is Janus Capital Markets. And again, this is a negative signal right here. And you can see this can be a new low close. If we close here and you just put the close only chart right there, boom. And you can see the lowest close we had before was 793, was 790. So I would say if we get in the 789, 787s, then that's even going to look more negative in my opinion. So watch those markets. But again, we've had the markets, 2 buys, 2 sells. Watch those markets next week and we'll see what happens. But these markets are very choppy, really no direction. And I think you have to be paying close attention to the trade triangles, all of which are down on this stock, positive on the other stocks we mentioned. So pay attention to that. I think oil needs to be watched, and gold and silver. So let's go tomorrow and look at those again and have every day a successful trading day. This is Adam Hewison from MarketClub. Have a great trading day.